Hello everybody and welcome to The Last of Us Remastered for the PlayStation 4.
Now we did do this playthrough initially on PS3, but unfortunately we had technical problems and all the audios and videos
Well, at
were
least
lost.
now we get to see the game in 60 glorious 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
Not all of them were lost, but it was enough to the point where we might as well have made a new one. Since, okay, a few things
it was
about
also
original...
back in the day when our audio quality was a lot worse than it is.
Yeah, that too. Basically, yeah, there's that. Also, Shiroi kind of wasn't in all of this one. We weren't exactly the most focused. Also, yeah, there was also that bad about how we started on the PS3 version, but then eventually went to the PS4 version.
Here's the first thing I'll mention right now. I love this title theme by Gustavo, and I can't pronounce his last name to say my life. Guz. We'll just call him Guz. I love Guz's music for this game. Yeah, love that guitar. What I love about Guz's music is that it's very subdued, but at the same time, it's... Oh yeah, here's an interesting thing. Even though this remaster has a 60 frames per second, you can actually lock the game to 30 frames per second if you prefer it that way. So that's a nice little option for those who care.
Is there a benefit to doing that?
No, it's not. Well, actually, for some people it might be, because sometimes some people, including myself, sometimes have a bit of feel 60 frames per second in a cutscene to be a bit off. You know, because usually films are played in 24 frames per second. So watching a natural cinematic cutscene run in 60 frames per second, you know, the double of what usually film is supposed to go for, can be a bit off for some people. So I actually appreciate the fact that they bothered to give those people an option.
Don't get used to this, audience. This will be the last game that we do for a while where someone who's competent at stealth is playing it.
After this will be Jova playing MGS1.
But I'm good at that. So
that's why I'm saying this will be the.
No, I was referring to me.
Oh no, I'm not going against you, Pedro. I'm just saying, Dwibs, what the hell? You're saying that this is the last time we're going to do it because, according to Pedro, after this it's MGS1. So that means you're saying ice.
No, what he means is that after this is going to be a while until we see someone good at stealth playing.
Because remember, I'm doing Uncharted 4.
Anyway, everybody, here's the basic story.
I know, guys. It was
a bunch of pixelated effects are on the screen. The end.
Sony Computer Entertainment presents
Crash
a Naughty Dog game. That's right. This was where Naughty Dog started to be Kojima-like, where they actually have a Naughty Dog game in the opening credits.
I could have sworn they did this with Uncharted.
They did it with 4, but not the other 3.
So what you're saying is they started treating it like a movie.
Except this still feels like a game.
This game has plenty, especially if you play it in the realistic difficulty that's exclusive to this PS4 remaster.
Oh my god, guys, it's that guy from The Happening.
So yeah, this is our main character Joel, played by Troy Baker, and this is his daughter Sarah.
I still cannot remember that character's name, the one who looks so much like Joel in The Happening. Had the beard and everything.
Mark Wahlberg?
I don't think he even has a name, honestly. Hold on.
His name is Name.
Oh, how thoughtful. I love this. I love what he says here.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Yep.
Wow. Jody sure had quite an interesting childhood.
And welcome to the match between England and Wales. And England won 19-2. Yay!
Oh, nice.
That's not if Eddie's soccer team is able to score 19.
Well, I can refer to
any sport.
You could be referring to rugby, football.
I love this main theme that's playing. Much like Yoko Shimomura is a complete master with the piano, Guz is a master with the guitar, like the classic guitar. It's such a simple tune, and yet it's so effective. Dawn of the Wolf. Gotta go see that.
A reference to something?
Yeah, it's not a patch on Dawn of the Planet.
Yes. It's gonna be a running gag where Dawn of the Wolf is the Twilight equivalent of this universe. It's gonna be a running gag. I forgot the game.
Kind of thought that was gonna be down on the Planet of the Apes or something.
Well, that's also.
So we start off by playing as the girl,
Sarah. Yeah.
Her name is Sarah.
Sarah Connor.
So yeah, the phones aren't working for some reason.
No, don't you see, Digi? It's all connected. See, Sarah Connor grew up as a little kid, but had her own apocalypse before she grew up and the world became normal again.
Yeah, pity about, you think the Terminator would do his job properly, though. He just kills anyone named Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor, yeah.
Alright, Des, go ahead and read it for Sarah, please.
Dear Dad, let's see. You're never around, you type the music I'm into, you practically despise the movies I like, and yet somehow you still manage to be the best dad every year. How do you do that? Happy birthday, Papa. Sarah, and yeah, I'm sorry I screwed up that voice.
Also, Joa, ask me again that question about Sarah Connor in like 11 minutes, okay?
You can press the square button for an actual caps, actual fonts of the game to show up on screen, so you can read it better if you can't quite make that out. But you can still. But I actually prefer reading that way for the sake of immersion.
For me playing this game, I'd still be in the room.
Really? Oh, come on, dude. You're not that
minutes
bad.
and spikes area. And
unless you're talking about exploring, in which case, by all means, look around. See what the game has to offer.
So yeah, this game takes place in Austin, Texas.
I'll be doing plenty of...
So you see...
Don't worry, Joe. I'll be doing plenty of that during the normal life chapter in Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, to be fair, Digi, that's kind of the point of that chapter, so by all means, dude. Whatever.
I love. They actually did a really good job with the TV footage here. Looks really good. Oh crap!
She should have moved. Wait, how come the gas leak happened there and yet here?
Different
what?
areas.
The what? Yeah, it's different areas, Dwebs. Come on. It literally just happened.
This is affecting
everywhere, pretty much.
So do we know what caused the apocalypse or no?
They hinted at it in that newspaper. Basically, there was some kind of explosion in some laboratory, and basically they were researching the specific virus, and because someone fucked up, and the infection started spreading. Basically,
I believe it was a disease that does not affect animals, so they were testing it on animals.
So it's Rise of the Planet of the Apes then.
Sure.
I believe it's over in real life. The disease.
Yeah, the disease. The
exaggerated version of a disease only affects bugs.
Yeah, in the original, they basically the concept of this is what if that virus affected humans?
Yeah.
So I guess basically they kind of pulled a happening and accidentally made it transfer to humans.
Wait a minute, Pedro. When did this game come out?
2013. Yeah.
And Rise of the Planet Apes was 2011. So this game is totally a rip-off of that film. 0 out of 10.
Of course.
Wait, but was there even a disease involved?
Yeah.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was.
And it's all caused by James Franco.
By that logic, I can say that Rise was a rip-off of Children of Men. So.
But didn't you not like Children of Men?
No, I didn't. But again, regardless of the quality.
Wait.
Well, rip-offs. Whether or not it's a rip-off is regardless of its quality, though.
Wait, to play devil's advocate, you can take that was bad and turn it good.
Oh yeah, trust me, Deji. As far as I'm concerned, this game is the best take on the Children of Men / The Road storyline. I didn't quite like those movies very well, but I think this game actually did it much better than those movies. Anyway,
and let's not forget the fact that one of the most beloved movies involving a pig, Babe in the Big City, is apparently a ripoff.
All right, so this is Joel's brother, Tommy. Okay, so basically, what I love about this particular prologue is that we're always playing as Sarah, and I love the fact that we always see things through her eyes. And I also really love the way Neil Druckmann. I also really love the way Neil Druckmann directed this prologue because it's something about the angle. It feels very claustrophobic and adds to the tension of it. Don't ask me why. There's just something about the way he directs this that really think is effective.
I'd have thought this was a bit of a Straley thing since it's in game.
Well, the thing is, Straley directs everything involving the actual gameplay mechanics and shit like that. Neil Druckmann is, of course, the one in charge of camera angles and shit like that.
Right.
Anyway, a little bit of history, everybody. While Uncharted 3 was starting production, Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley teamed up so they could actually make a new game aside from Uncharted 3. Originally, their plan was to make a Jak and Daxter 4. However, eventually, because mid-development, they started to realize that this game was just not going to live up to expectations of the Jak fan base, so they decided it would be better to just leave enough alone and just do a new IP altogether. And this is how Last of Us came to be.
And Jak and Daxter fans everywhere cried.
Fanboys were made.
Exactly. But like I said before, I'd rather they do that rather than half-ass a Jak and Daxter game.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that they were going to half-rear it, more so like they were going to go for a direction that would make Shadow the Hedgehog look tame in regards to actually...
I was going to ask the same. It would make DMC Devil May Cry.
Like I said...
yeah, true, yeah.
You guys make me feel so sad.
Okay. I heard the gameplay is good.
Hold on, Detsy.
Characterization is terrible.
Yeah, okay. Allow me to put it like this. The problem with DMC, the reboot, is that, look, maybe if that reboot had just tried to be its own thing, that would have been fine, but no, this was a reboot that at the time was trying to replace Devil May Cry. And here are a few problems with that.
It tried to attach it to something.
Jova, not for nothing, but let's save that for our eventual LP of that game.
Yeah,
it should probably be in the next
Let's
decade.
not go in that tangent again. Come on.
Look, we're in traffic. You need segues.
True,
Just
yeah.
saying.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, hitchhikers are getting rather hardcore these days.
Another thing, this game came out in 2013, pretty much the last big year of the PS3.
Oh no!
And you can
get it? Because it's called The Last of Us, so it's the last PS3 game.
Yes. And you can tell that Naughty Dog by this point had the PS3's hardware completely figured out, because this game looks amazing. Even on a PS4, I still think this game looks great.
Well, to be fair, it was one of the last games to come out.
Oh no, that guy, he's running in place. He can't get away.
Well, what happened? I thought this game was perfect.
Oh, well.
No, I don't think anyone has... Well, actually, some people have claimed that.
Yes, they have.
Well,
There's always going to be people who, of course, claim something's...
There's only one game that I've played that I consider perfect, and that's Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Wow, I kind of find that ironic, since, Shigeru Miyamoto was kind of the one in charge of that, and well...
No, it's just because, like, in terms of creativity and just continually surprising with amazing level design, I've never seen a game beat so consistently creative.
Funny, Super Mario Galaxy 2 just copy and paste stuff from the first game.
I disagree. I think...
Paris the Botwibs, it does not do that. It does not do that. I'll give Miyamoto this though. Whoa! I'll give Miyamoto this though. For as many issues as he may have, he's still got it in regards to platforming. And it seems that nowadays he seems to have opened himself up more to storytelling, thank God.
Just keep him away from all story.
Well, like I said, Shiroi, he seems to have gotten more open to there being stories now. So that's
alright, so now while Tommy will cover as we have to get away from here.
Hey guys, Tommy gun. Get it? He's Tommy and he has a gun.
Can you die in this section?
No.
Yes.
Well, actually, never mind. No, you're right. You can actually. If you get caught by,
I believe you did in the first LP of the.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, you did actually. You died on the first level.
Well, at least I got to show that off. At least.
Yeah, that was cool.
Sure.
Dwibs, are you jealous of something?
Basically, Sarah sprained her ankle, so she can't walk.
Remember, they were just in a car crash.
Yeah. And she's like, what, 12 years old?
Speaking of car crashes.
Well, she looks like 13, like 12, 15.
What movie are they showing?
She's 14.
You know, you have to look at it. No, wait, I'll save it first.
Quick, everybody run! Capcom came to town with their zombies!
Ah, crap. It's Resident Evil 6, run.
Don't worry, guys. We got Resident Evil 7 in a bit.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah, but-
finally.
Good to know.
Finally, we put Resident... Somebody in the trash can. It looked like something was going to pop out of it.
It's like that. It's like that game, Pop-Up Pirates.
There's a game called Pop-Up Pirates.
Crap.
Yeah, you basically a pirates in a barrel.
Blow
And
his hand off.
you put swords in it, and if you release the pirate from the barrel, you lose.
We're sorry, Sarah. It's kind of priorities.
Don't worry, sir. He'll be fine.
We
He's
don't see
just
him
your
again, will
uncle,
we?
who we only mentioned here at the start of
We
the
do
story.
we do see him Dwebs in the fall arc.
It's been a while since we did this. It's been a while since we did
Spoilers for a game that came out like 4 years ago. Holy crap, that was fast.
this. Damn it,
And
I
isn't
feel
it like
old.
the 3rd anniversary of the DLC this month?
I think so, yeah.
Kill them.
About that.
So Dwebs is the commander.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Sir, there's a little girl.
Yeah, oh god, this makes this scene more.
Wait, hey Pedro. Does this remind you of something?
Yeah.
Sir, there's a little girl. I don't know what to do. My father died while look at the little girl.
Pull it.
This is for my dad!
Oh.
And
Oh.
Nice,
Maria
Tommy.
was dead.
Thanks
So
for that.
Tommy Gunn saved the day, but unfortunately,
So, headcanon.
Yeah,
Roger-
about that.
So, okay, officially
Oh,
my
Java, let us
headcanon...
listen. This is Troy Baker's crowning moment of brilliant acting right here. I love the way he acts this scene.
although as Matthew Matosa said, it is a little bit hard to care for a character dying who we've only just met.
Sarah! Wait,
Sorry, Sarah, you have succumbed to prologue death.
Troy
And
Baker...
actually, Dwibs, I
calling-
disagree in this case because you actually got to.
Well,
Sorry.
This is the worst birthday ever.
yeah.
Yeah, it is shit, isn't it?
Happy
Wait.
birthday! Your daughter is dead. Yay!
Wait, hold on. A Troy Baker character calling for Sarah in a game that involves a
Oh
woman-
God, no.
zombies.
I don't get it.
Pedro, are you feeling like you're up for a fantastical adventure?
Well, yeah, I guess. Anyway,
Wow, this intro actually does remind. This intro here actually does remind me of how not Rise, but War of the Planet of the Apes.
So now we're listening-
No, sorry. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes did it. Sorry.
so now we're listening to news audio talking about what's been happening over the next few years after that. Anyway, one thing that I'll also say about, by the way, that scene that we just saw. The interesting thing is that originally Troy Baker's original take on that scene was vastly different than we just heard. It was just
Yeah,
him.
you told me he had to do it so many times.
No. He basically went.
So wait, I guess that
Hold
last
on,
line,
hold
like,
on, hold on.
he's
Let
just
Pedro explain.
tired of it.
Let me hold on. Let me finish.
Let Pedro explain.
Basically, he went complete ape shit. Or as Troy himself put it, I lost my shit and I screamed like mad and shit. I prepared myself for it and shit. But unfortunately, Neil wasn't satisfied easily. But so we had to do it in a couple takes, and then eventually it was so hard. And then by the time they did like 12 takes or what was it? Neil finally said, "Okay, now I think we got it. Okay, thanks." And then,
a
2
few
weeks
days later-
2 weeks later, Neil calls.
Baker.
Hey, Troy, we have to reshoot a scene. Oh, what scene is it? And then he stands silent, and then Troy's like, "Dude, don't do this to me."
It's like, you're shitting me right now, aren't you?
and then they went back, so of course they went back and tried reshooting that scene over and over and over and over, and no take would satisfy Neil. And then Neil eventually approaches Troy Baker and he goes, "So I'm noticing a little resistance." And then Troy Baker's like, "Damn right you're noticing some resistance. We've got this in the bag." And you keep going, look. And then he pulls Troy aside and he goes, and I quote, "What I want you to do is, okay, just let go of anything, of what you're thinking. What I want you to do is just read the script and just hit this beat, then this beat, then this beat, then this beat." And then Troy probably felt like, oh, which sounds so mechanical, especially in an emotional scene. But then they did it, and Neil's like, okay, I think we got it, and that's a tick that actually made it into the game. So Troy Baker's well, that's a really great example of how having a great director can really improve the acting in a scene.
So yeah, it's been 20 years, and this is our companion Tess.
Yeah. Basically, over the course of the first 20 years since the death of Sarah, Joel has been kind of trying to survive. Eventually, he teamed up with he met this woman, and they you can tell they have some sort of past. And right now, one of their quote-unquote friends stole their guns, so they're gonna get them back by any means necessary.
Turns out it was Pinstripe Porter who betrayed them all and took their shipment of ammo to his island in Australia.
Oh man, what if in the Naughty Dog timeline Crash Bandicoot happens last?
Yeah, actually that would make sense.
When Civilization comes back, a doctor by the name of Cortex decides to try and do the stuff he did in Crash 1.
I think that might actually fit with his backstory.
That wouldn't be hilarious if Uncharted and The Last of Us took place in the same universe.
Well, technically it can happen as long as this one is the last of the timeline.
Yeah, no.
Wait, hold on. Based on how Last of Us 2 goes, it might not have to be.
Actually, it's interesting you say that, Jova. Neil Druckmann's... Oh, free. Okay. One cool thing about Neil Druckmann that he said about Last of Us Part 2, he said that while the main theme of the first game to him was love, he says that the main theme of the second game is going to be hate. So I don't know, Joe. Maybe your predictions of what's going to happen in Part 2 are going to come true.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, heck, I'm the guy who managed to call that Kara was actually going to be a whole game.
Well, I guess Neil knew that some people have a very love-hate relationship with this story, so...
let's be honest, Rich. You'd have to be an idiot to not say that that ending goes.
We'll get into the ending when we get to that point. For now, let's just focus on this.
Well, I've heard some other things about the story in general, but we'll get to those when we get to those. It's only the beginning, and wow, those buildings have seen better days.
Yeah.
For those who do know...
This is the aftermath of Man of Steel, isn't it?
No, I got it, guys. The person who did that was trying to recreate the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Didn't quite work out though, did it?
Yeah, people kind of fell out the building.
So yeah, as everybody can see, Naughty Dog is still using the same gameplay engine they used for Uncharted, except Neil. The one thing you'll notice in this game, and even in Uncharted 4, cutscene.
So basically here, you need a certain pass to get into areas like these.
Yeah, basically the military has been... Basically the military has been trying to keep things under control for the sake of avoiding more shit happening. All they want is
unlike most of these apocalypse stories, there's actually... In fact, believe it or not, I think most of the country at this point actually isn't that bad. It's just they've managed to keep the zombies occupied in certain areas.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's never really made quite clear it's never really made clear how much of the country or the Earth has been affected by this.
They pretty much hinted it that they have them quarantined.
Maybe Part 2 will get into that.
Yeah, I mean, okay. When I said Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I know that film came out a year later, but I think that film did the whole thing a bit better because there was that graphic during the opening credits that showed the virus spreading throughout the Earth.
Well, to be fair, they established that the virus, hasn't, overcome the entire Earth like most of these apocalypse stories, so I can see why they weren't exactly too clear on it. Besides, to be fair, that's not so much something that you need to know at the moment. Which actually could make for
especially
a
since we're seeing this from the point of view of civilians, not scientists or doctors.
Well, we do that in Dawn too.
Well, to be fair, Dawn was a movie. This is okay.
You mean The Last of Us isn't?
Okay. Now, this may sound weird, but this game is actually surprisingly, for the most few parts, kind of like a daily slice of life. If your daily life involved having to kill zombies and protecting
because if we were in this situation, we wouldn't know how it spread or how far it spread either.
Not to mention, honestly, if you ask me, okay, it will be nice to have that information, I guess, but at the same time, I don't see it all that important because the focus is really the characters, so whatever.
Also, to be fair, the thing with Dawn and The Last of Us, Dawn takes place from the perspective of Caesar, who was the catalyst of the whole thing. Joel is just some random guy that it just happened to affect him.
Not only that, but they could also just be saving, the actual scope of how far it's been affected to actually give it a good sense of surprise.
In fact, I'm really looking forward to doing the Apes films, especially the reboot ones. And by reboot, I mean the onwards, not Tim Burton.
Anyway, one thing you'll notice comparison to the Uncharted games is that, unlike Amy, Neil's way of game making is more methodical. Unlike the Uncharted, The Last of Us is more focused on stealth and survival rather than shooting.
So that's why I prefer Uncharted, pretty much.
And that also wormed its way into Uncharted 4 because Uncharted 4 added that extra element of stealth where you can optionally stealth your way through.
Yeah, well, in 4 at least, the stealth is optional. So because I won't blame this game though because
the best way I can describe Last of Us is imagine Metal Gear Solid 3 meets Uncharted, because a lot of mechanics that this game uses were first pioneered in Metal Gear Solid 3, like not just the stealth, but also the whole gathering items to survive in a harsh environment thing, much like the jungle in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, speaking of which, here's one thing that's crucial. I call them the team mechanics. Basically, more often than not, you'll have a partner character who you can do a lot of these sort of certain moves and maneuvers with. Trust me, you will rely on these things like your life depends on them because, well, yeah, your life literally is going to depend on your allies.
Do you get to control the partner or no?
No.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, you technically do get to control the partners, although they're in very specific sections.
Yeah. Well, and if you're playing this, I'm playing this on easy mode for the sake of making the recording process more easier for me. But trust me, if you play this on the harder difficult, because on the hardest difficulties, you'll get the bare minimum of necessary. Because trust me, so when you play this on the realistic difficulty, for example, I advise you don't even try to do it whip style, because the only way to really complete this game in the hardest difficulty is to only use your weapons only when it's extremely necessary. Always try your best to stealth away from, because if you run out of ammo when you actually need it, then you're gonna be sorry.
One of my favorite sayings: make every single shot count.
Yeah, that's a natural line, but we'll get to that. All right, see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.